especially because of what you do. Aside from being really funny and witty and smart, the ability that you have on that show, Curb, to work in the moment, to improvise, that's key, because you don't know how a game's going to go.
But that's why comedians are great hosts, because that's what we do. We're used to that.
Not every comedian can do that.
No, not every comedian. But I mean, your stand-up, were you one of these A to Z guys?
Never.
No,
I
me
didn't
neither.
But I didn't have an A. You know, I got there on a dare, and I kind of worked off of my fear and in the moment. And if you watched me in the people make fun of my old act, but it was okay. But I was thinking of what I had nothing to do, and
I know
what, and even the glove on the head was just what I carried in my pocket because I was out in public.
So you were an improviser.
I always have been.
Yeah.
I've been improvising my entire career.
I think that I tried to do it the other way because I would have so much stage fright, and I always thought, maybe if I had an act, like comedians we know who have an act and they do that, they know what's coming next. Maybe that would be, it was so boring to me. I couldn't work that way. I tried it.
Well, I love the thrill of performing.
Well, and you've never been one to do any homework. So it's not like you're doing homework. You love to go there and just
me too.
Work with the crowd.
Yeah. And you never know who's there.
Yeah.
That's the fun of it. Every show is different. You don't do stand-up anymore, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do? Really?
Yeah, I did it last night.
Where?
Well, last night I did a symposium, but I do it all the time. I drop into clubs all the time because I like that thrill. That's my favorite thing to do.
It is.
But I have dates coming up. Go to HowieMandel.com. I don't know what they are, but I do that. That's my favorite thing. If I had to give up everything.
Iowa and Kentucky.
She does my travel. She does my, yes.
So it's your favorite thing to, because I
Jewiness.
stopped. I was just, it just got too scary to me.
See, I love the fear. If I feel complacent, then I get bored, and then the noise is in my head. Then it's too noisy.
So you're a fear junkie.
I am.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
I like I don't know what we're going to talk about. I didn't know we were going to call your daughter. I didn't know I was going to sell a show on eczema.
I don't know that you sold a show on eczema, Howie.
Don't be such a negative Nelly. What's your favorite? Do people yell out lines to you in the streets in New York?
But people,
the
people
swearing?
always, are like begging me to call them a fat fuck, and that's the major one is fat fuck.
Fat fuck.
And the irony of that
you sell T-shirts?
No, I don't. But
fat fuck T-shirts you got to sell on the podcast.
I guess so. But the irony of that is that that was never my stand-up style, was to make fun of what people look like, or some comics do that. I never liked that.
Right.
To make fun of somebody's physical disabilities or what they look like. So the fat fuck line came from season 1 in 2000, where Larry was the one who said to me, make fun of Jeff's fat. And I said to him, I don't feel comfortable with that, Larry. And he was like, just do it. He knows that you're acting. So that's the first time I called him fat fuck. And then it was like the genie's out of the bottle, I couldn't stop after that.
I knew when you were doing the first season, I was friends with, do you remember Sandy Chanley?
Yes, she was the producer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she was producing a show at the same time with me. And she told me how funny you were.
Oh, that's sweet of her. She was lovely.
She was. Yeah. She only did one season,
I think 1 or maybe 2. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah. So then you don't do any stand-up now?
No, I haven't done it in like 5-6 years.
No desire to?
No. I really suffered from stage fright in a way that was painful. And it was worth it because, I don't have to tell you what you get back. I mean, what you get on stage is amazing when you're doing stand-up. It's all yours,
Well, now especially, I need it because I feel like even,
Well, now you draw, too. That's always the goal of a comedian is to draw.
But it's not but I like it when there's 2 people in the audience and it's really hard.
So you're a real comic.
I'll drive out in the middle of the night in the rain to a place called the Ice House here where there's 5 people and I'm not billed and I can just, because that's how I know.
And then you could play.
Because I want to play.
Yeah.
I don't care that if I do something and I wrote something and I know it's funny, I understand now how a rock star, you get mad if they don't want to play their hit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
once you write a joke, but to land something brand new that's
the greatest thrill. What happened to me was it stopped being creatively interesting to me. So I wasn't that into coming up with new material. So then it was just greatest hits. And I felt like that was not fair to the audience. And it wasn't creatively interesting. And then if that was the case, to have to suffer through the stage fright that I suffered through, it wasn't worth it. Although my manager said to me yesterday, I think, you'd be making a lot of money now if you would go out on the road.
So does that draw you to the road?
I've never been a money person, unfortunately, or fortunately.
You do fine.
I do fine, but I've never been that like ambition thing, you know, of like, you got to make money and you got to be famous. And it's never been my thing. When I was doing stand-up all those years ago, it was all about I wanted to be a great comic, was what it was about. It wasn't about being famous.
So come and try it. Put together 20 minutes
Howie,
and come on the road with me.
I wouldn't even know what to say at this point.
Really?
I couldn't do any of my old stuff.
Real.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get up on stage and I'll just riff it.
You should. Just riff.
You think so?
Absolutely. See where it goes. What does it do? Especially nowadays.
If it gives debilitating anxiety, why are you pushing that?
Maybe because maybe it won't. And maybe it'll be worth it. You're right.